Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about season 4, episode 13, titled Hopeless, air date January 31st, 2001, and the synopsis is
Miss Valentine forces Joey to go out on a double date with Pacey to accompany Drue and his girlfriend, Anna Evans, to make sure that Drue behaves himself. Meanwhile, Dawson has his own problems when he and Gretchen go out with their college friends and he realizes their age gap. Also, Tobey asks Jack for help in teaching kids to read, and Mr. Brooks becomes more weaker from his illness during the completion on Dawson's documentary.
eh. What did you think of this episode though? I mean,
It was nice to see Dawson and Gretchen really go out like on a real date for the first time. It was with her friends, but still it was out in public so he could understand how much older she is compared to
yeah,
him.
but I just would rather them just be on a date, not with her friends. They haven't really been on a date
Yeah.
since they became a couple.
Hmm.
They've never had alone time, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, shouldn't they have went to the movies? Isn't that Dawson's thing?
Yeah.
Remember, he went Jen to the movies, Joey to the movies on their first
Hmm.
dates.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I just thought it was just, I don't know. There was only a couple storylines going on,
Hmm.
and I don't know. It was just kind of blah to me. And also, where is Jen?
Um, I don't know.
Like, she was not in this episode,
Hmm.
so that threw me off because I'm like, I don't know. I felt like we needed her
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
it
it
was
seems
just
like
so boring.
yeah, it seems like when it comes to Jack, it's either he's interacting with Jen or Toby, but not both at the same time in the same episode. So
Yeah, and I mean and it's usually Jen supporting Jack or Jack supporting Jen. And it would have been a good episode for Jen.
hmm. But I did feel bad for Joey because Miss Valentine forced her to go on that double date with Drew and Anna with Pacey.
Yeah, didn't you say like you'd have the day off or something?
Yeah, the weekend for the ski trip.
Yeah, but the thing is like if she's not um if she has the weekend off and stuff, she's not getting paid.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And doesn't she need money to go to college and stuff?
Yeah.
So shouldn't she have worked instead? I'm just saying, I look at like money, now that we're
Hmm.
old, it's like, I don't know. I'd rather go for the money.
Yeah, well, a senior ski trip is too hard to pass up on. So
Uh, we didn't go on anything for our senior year.
wasn't there something like a water park that everybody went to?
I don't think they actually went. I don't know if they actually went.
Oh, because I didn't go because
I wasn't invited, so I wouldn't know.
well, it was like a school thing that the school I think put together.
In our class, you think it was uh uh in our class, it was never um I don't know, I just never felt like it was for everybody in our grade. So that's just how I felt. So I definitely would have went to work, made some
Yeah, well,
money.
yeah, I didn't go to the trip because I can't swim. That's the only reason why I didn't go. So,
Well, then you really would have been by yourself because I wasn't going because I didn't even know anything about it.
hmm.
When was it? At the end of the year? The beginning of the year?
I think it was toward the end, because we have our long winters. So had it been like May or April, maybe, I don't know.
Well, May we were done.
Yeah, it's like the
May
last,
10th,
like,
we were
I don't
out
know.
of there.
Hmm.
How, don't you like how I know the day?
Yeah.
Last day, get us out of here.
Hmm.
Okay, so at the very beginning of this episode, though,
Yeah.
um, Gretchen is on a phone with her friends
Right.
at work.
Hmm. And
Okay,
not on break.
I am old, right? So I'm looking at it from like if I owned the restaurant.
Hmm.
Gail got mad because she's on the phone and she's not getting her job done. And I'm like, I would not pay you to be on your phone
Hmm.
or to be on the phone because I think they
Yeah.
called the restaurant phone.
Yeah, they did.
Well, and also you're holding up the line of somebody who might be ordering food.
Yeah, that's what Gail said. Somebody needed something like 10 minutes ago and nothing
Well,
happened. So,
I think they needed a drink 10 minutes ago, like
yeah.
wine or something. But
Hmm.
I'm saying, what if somebody's calling to order takeout or something? That's going to bring income
Did
for
they do that back
Gail.
then?
What?
Did they do that back then?
What?
Oh, takeout. I was thinking delivery. Never mind.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
takeout.
like
Yeah.
you call the restaurant,
Yeah.
you're like, hey,
Right.
I want to order,
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
she was holding up the line
Hmm.
for personal reasons. And I don't agree with that. I would have probably fired her, to be
Hmm.
honest. I don't care if you're dating my son, if you like my son, I'm going to fire you. Like if you're not doing your job and you're holding up the line and you're not getting orders out and all, no, that's costing me money because people are
Right.
not going to come back to that business, that to that restaurant. They're going to go, I had to wait 30 minutes for a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
Hmm.
So no, I would have got rid of Gretchen. And then what did she do right after?
Um,
She talked to Dawson.
oh yeah.
I was like,
They're better
again,
friends, yeah.
again, you're not working. And like, if you just got yelled at by the boss, you would tell Dawson, I'll talk to you after work. Like, Dawson's not going to get in trouble. It's his mom's restaurant, but she'll get in trouble. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd be like, I'm sorry. I gotta hold off on this. So yeah, I was like, no, Gretchen, you're just, and then she was like, telling Dawson, like, is this, like, tell me this is how she's always acting and stuff. And I'm like, what? You're doing everything wrong right now. That would make anybody fire you.
Hmm.
So I'm not going to just give you free range because you're dating Dawson.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I feel like if it was Joey, Gail would probably still be yelling at Joey, like, you're not doing your job. Because again, you're not doing your job.
Right.
So I agreed. Like as a business person, you would yell at that person.
Hmm.
Um, and then okay, but then Dawson said something about like she's ready to pop out baby number two.
Oh yeah, because the hormones, yeah.
I was like, didn't wasn't it just a couple episodes ago she said or she found out she was pregnant?
Um, yeah, maybe four
And
episodes, yes.
but then to say she's ready to pop out baby number four means she's like 9 months pregnant. It
Right, yeah, that's a lot of
that's
time.
what you would say. You know what I mean? Is like that's how close you are to having the baby.
Hmm.
But I don't think that the episodes match up to she's ready to pop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, Dawson, I think you're a little off, but okay. Again, I don't think the writers know exactly how far she is, and they're the writers. I just thought that was a little weird and cringy.
Yeah.
Plus she's ready to pop. It's not a balloon.
Well, we're on episode 13 now, and the pregnant episode was the fifth episode. Um,
Well,
yeah,
either way,
so
it's still a while before she has the baby.
yeah, you think it'd be at least like another 4 months or so.
Hmm. Um, so yeah, then Gretchen talks about meeting her friends. I don't think Dawson, I mean, knowing Dawson, do you really think that he would win over her friends?
Yeah.
You do? Okay,
Yeah.
Gretchen's the party girl.
Hmm.
You think that Dawson's gonna win over her friends?
Well,
Dawson couldn't even win over Jen or Joey. How
no, we
is
never
he
know.
how is he gonna win over Gretchen's friends?
Well, he ended up doing so in this episode. So
I think because they felt sorry for him and it's called Dawson's Creek.
maybe.
But I have more as we get further into the Gretchen and Dawson.
Okay.
I have some um questions for you that, again, I think it's the continuity issues that
Mm-hmm.
bother me.
Yeah.
So yeah, so then Joey's at work and Mrs. Valentine was yelling at Drue. Wasn't she saying like, "Oh, I give you a lot of slack and stuff"?
Yeah.
I don't think she likes her son,
Hmm. Well, he gets into trouble a lot, so.
but she raised him that
Mm-hmm.
way. Like,
True.
here's the thing is think of how he was raised. She
Mm-hmm.
probably was not there. He was probably raised by a nanny. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be out of control because I think because sometimes people that do that are looking for, it was like Jen. She's looking for someone to just love her
Mm-hmm.
because Jen changed because Grams truly loved her.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what Drue needs.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not getting it from his parents, clearly. Because didn't his dad leave or something?
Yeah. For another
And
woman.
yeah, and so his dad's gone. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then your mom is Mrs. Valentine. Like, ooh, that, wouldn't be a fun life.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he gets whatever he wants and he gets bailed out because of money.
Right.
Where most kids have to learn by punishment and stuff because our we don't come from money.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get bought by money, like love
Mm-hmm.
from our parents. So I'm
Yeah.
like, no, that was his life though. So if she, the way she's acting like, oh, but it's like you raised that. If you would have
Mm-hmm.
raised him, more loving and probably more present, he might not be this person.
Right.
But you raised him, so congrats.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that was funny how Drue called his mom a Disney villain with how pushy she was.
Well, let's be honest, she is.
Mm-hmm. But which one do you think she would be?
Mm.
I think the evil stepmother from Cinderella just because she gives orders to everybody constantly.
Well, you know what I thought was a diss, but it was also a diss to Mrs. Valentine in a way. It
Mm-hmm.
was when Joey comes up and she was talking about going on that date with somebody's daughter.
Yeah, Anna.
Yeah, she said, that girl goes to a much better school than you, trying to diss Joey by
Mm-hmm.
saying like your school isn't anything. But
Right.
she's also dissing herself because her own son goes there.
Exactly.
I was
Yeah.
like, how can you diss Joey by the school she's at when your son goes to the same one?
Mm-hmm.
And you allowed your son to go there.
Yeah.
So isn't that also a diss to you?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're dissing Joey, but you're also stupid enough to diss yourself.
Right.
Yeah, I literally, oh, you know, okay, so Joey's very vocal, right? I mean, telling Gail, you know, I know you're cheating, back in season one. Um, I just feel like, um, especially now being around Mrs. Valentine so much. And remember, even when she was getting hired, she stood up to Mrs. Valentine. I feel like she would have had a comeback. You know what I
Oh,
mean
so
for
the
that?
full comment. Yeah.
Yeah. Then like
Mm-hmm.
your son goes there.
Right. Yeah.
Like it can't be that bad. You send your
Mm-hmm.
son there. Doesn't all your rich friends know? Like
Right.
I just feel like Joey would have had a comeback,
Mm-hmm.
especially to not only protect herself from that, but to protect Drue because she's seeing what Mrs. Valentine is doing to Drue.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, she was like, when she saw that Drue and his mom, then she was like, "Oh, I can't say anything. I just have to go with it." Because she goes, "Oh, I was just telling you that I was here. That I'm at work."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just feel like Joey, because of the personality that she is, she would have said something,
Yeah.
and it would have been a good burn on
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Valentine.
Yeah. So that was
I
a
was
little
waiting for it, but she
out of
didn't say a
character.
word.
Yeah.
I was like, "Come on, this would have been perfect."
Mm-hmm.
See, we should have been the writers because we would have come back with something good.
Right. But what I didn't get how was that Mr. Brooks had Dawson sign that paper to pick up his meds. Like, was there
Okay.
really a need for a paper?
Okay.
Just because he's not maybe family, but
No, because I feel like you can have a written statement or something that you can tell your drugstore.
yeah. Because
Um,
really, you just need to know the birthday, and that's really it most of the
yeah,
time.
but also if you have it written and stuff and that
Hmm.
you had told them, the
Yeah.
pharmacy and stuff, they'll be like,
Hmm.
okay, this person is on your, information to pick up.
Hmm.
So it would be no problem.
Yeah.
But my thing is, okay, do you really think that was a paper to quote pick up his meds as he told Dawson?
No, it looked way more than that because it looked official, like more official.
And okay, my thing too is, do you really think they would have let a 17-year-old sign whatever document that is?
That's what I was thinking about. I don't think so. I don't know if that would be allowed
Because like legal
unless he was
documents,
like he was a
18.
family member. Yeah.
But even family members, like if somebody dies, don't they normally wait until that person turns 18? Like they hold whatever until they're 18?
What do you mean?
Like if somebody dies and you are the beneficiary,
Hmm.
don't like do you get the money right away even though you're underage or um
It's probably later, like 21 or 25, maybe.
that you would get the stuff? Like I
Maybe,
would
I don't
I would
know.
I would feel like they would hold it till you're at least 18.
Hmm.
I don't know. It was just weird. I was like, he's 17 and he's signing a legal document. And and the thing is he's getting his meds. So it's not that was just so weird. I was like, it's just so random. Oh, it's just to
Hmm.
get my meds. I'm like, you've got like 20 million bottles sitting in your house. Because remember, that nurse was getting his meds and he wasn't taking them. So he's got all kinds of meds just sitting there.
Right.
Plus
It's hard to hide him.
Grams has been getting his meds. So it just didn't make any sense. I was like, right. And okay, my thing too is like Dawson is somewhat supposed to be responsible, right?
Hmm.
Why wouldn't he take those papers and take them to his parents and have them read it?
Just because he trusted Mr. Brooks and what he was saying about him.
Yeah, but you should never sign any piece of
You don't
paper
read.
without reading it.
Yeah.
That's how you get yourself in legal trouble.
Yeah, that's why Dawson's too young to handle this responsibility if it's something more.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, no, have your mom read it. Like,
Hmm.
no, 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 Dawson. Bad mistake. Because who knows what Mr. Brooks is going to get you into now.
Right. I did look up the age, and you do have to be at least 18. I don't know about them. Maybe it was different back in 2001, but now he wouldn't been able to have signed it, so it wouldn't be valid.
Legal. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what I was thinking.
Hmm. So if anything, it would go to somebody else that's, not Dawson, like an older person. I can't think of the word, but like just the next, like they have it. I think they have like a special
Yeah, it's
person. I
like
forget the title.
it's like next of kin, but it's well, it is the beneficiary, but it's also
Hmm.
like it's the person that's old enough,
Yeah.
like 18 or older.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, he's 17. I don't think he would be allowed to sign that and have it
Hmm.
legal. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, me either.
But also, he doesn't even know what the hell he's signing. Like Dawson, you're supposed to be smart,
Hmm.
learn some things.
Yeah, that was funny how when Gretchen came out into the living room area or whatever, and Pacey notices her top right away,
Oh my God, he
being
was
so,
such a dad.
yeah, that's what I put too.
I loved it. I was like, Pacey being a dad.
Hmm.
Because, Gretchen didn't have one of those.
Right.
Could you see Mr. Witter
Well, I
saying
feel
that?
like he would say something too, but
No, I feel like he wouldn't even know her walking by because he'd be too into the TV.
yeah, maybe.
Just like when Pacey walked in for his birthday, he was too busy watching TV to really notice his own son.
Hmm.
And I feel like that'd be Gretchen, or she would probably just have like a coat on and walk out the door and then take it off.
Mm-hmm.
But because she's living with her little brother, she's the adult in the household now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have a thing, Cynthia. Now that
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it, when it comes to like school stuff, um, is Gretchen the legal guardian of Pacey?
Um, she should be, but I don't know. They don't really talk about it like that. So,
Do you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Because if something happens,
Yeah.
who's the legal guardian? Like somebody's got to be. That's why if sometimes if your parent is away for a few months, they have to give the legal guardian to somebody. So if you're staying with a friend, your friend's parents are going to have to sign the papers
Yeah.
just in case anything happens. So I'm just like, is
Mm-hmm.
Gretchen the legal guardian?
She should be because she'd probably have to sign off on Pacey taking those classes again after school,
Right.
supposedly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, because I highly doubt his parents know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was like, it just doesn't make any sense. This show does not make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, where's the explanation to this?
Mm-hmm. And then Tobey dropped by Jack's house.
Um,
Well, he was out running first, but
okay.
yeah, about teaching kids to read.
Well, okay. I'm sure you have the exact thing of what he says, but he says something like, of course, you'd be the kind to run. That's what Tobey says.
Yeah.
I was like, here we are again, saying
Yeah.
crap to Jack about the kind of person he is.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I just wanted to slap him across the TV. Like,
Right.
to me, that's what he deserved. Did you like it again? I have a question. How
Yeah.
many episodes has Tobey been in so far?
Um, Maybe three at least.
Feels like more. Um, and every episode that he is in, he is always judging Jack, and it's so irritating.
Yep. Um, yeah, so then Joey and Pacey meet up with Drue and his girlfriend, and well, not his girlfriend, his date Anna.
Well, first Joey tells him to behave,
Mm-hmm.
or be nice.
Yeah.
Um, so it was funny though when Anna um walks. Well, first her and Drue are going back and forth, and then he says Potter, something about Potter, and then I thought the best was when she shakes Pacey's hand and says, "Hi, Joey."
Yeah.
Or you're Joey, and he's
Mm-hmm.
just shakes, smiles, and shakes her hand, and then Joey looks at him um, and says, "You're not Joey."
Mm-hmm.
And
That was
then
funny.
Drue goes, "I told you already. Joey girl, Pacey boy."
Yeah.
Oh my God, I started cracking up.
Yeah. And then I did notice Joey's jacket clothes for the first time in the show just because I used to have a similar jacket to that
Me too.
back in the third grade, I think. So that coat was definitely in back then. Yeah, so Toby was in a total of 7 episodes.
Yeah, but what's the episode? This episode.
Um,
I hope it's already 7.
I don't know, it's hard to look up on my phone here.
But my luck, it's probably not. Mm.
Oh,
All
let's
right, can
see.
we go to Dawson? And okay, well, first let's finish that up. Pacey, of course,
Mhm.
opens up the door for Anna.
Oh yeah, being a gentleman. Yep.
And then Joey's just looking at him, smiling, like puts her little smirk smile, like like looking at him. And he was like something about him being nice or whatever. And she's like, mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
then okay, so then let's talk about Dawson opens a door to Gretchen's friends. And um then Gail comes down the stairs and tells him like where are you going and stuff. Um and then she gives him a curfew.
Oh yeah, 1 o'clock.
And my thing is, first of all, for the first time, I feel like she's being a parent.
Yep.
Secondly, she let Dawson go to that rave where
Oh yeah.
Andy took drugs.
Yeah.
Um, and thirdly, um, I was like, Dawson, it's a good thing you don't live in like, I don't know, our households
Mm-hmm.
because there's no way my parents would let me have gone out with people they don't know till 1 a.m. Are you kidding me? 1 in the
Right.
morning? I was like,
Yeah.
that is late.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one, and then Dawson's like, well, 1 a.m. You've never given me a curfew. I'm like, Dawson, 1 a.m. Your
I
ass
know.
needs to be home in bed.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I was so confused. I was like, it would be one thing if she would have said 10 o'clock,
Right.
but literally 1 a.m.
I know it's so late.
That even on most TV shows, the parents always say like midnight
Mm-hmm.
and then you're pushing it.
Yeah.
But 1 a.m.,
I know.
I couldn't believe it. And then again, you're letting okay, let's be honest, like nothing really good happens after midnight because everyone's usually drunk by then
Yeah.
with whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if she's so worried, why would she say 1 a.m.?
I know.
You don't know these girls. They're obviously party girls.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just don't get it. Like, why 1 in the morning? Why not 10 o'clock? My baby
Maybe
boy needs to
because
be in bed at 10 o'clock. I could see then where he could argue it, where it's like 10 o'clock.
mm-hmm.
Like that's for someone who's not turning 18. But like, I don't know. I just feel like 1 in the morning is too late
Mm-hmm.
for any high schooler to be out.
Yeah, maybe it's just because of the fact that he's gonna be 18 soon, but maybe she's like trying to like give him some room to do what he wants just because he's almost an adult. I'm
Well,
thinking.
yeah, but he did throw it at her like you're basically trying to hold on to me and I have to move on.
Mm-hmm.
And like walk and like storms out the door and he but then he threw it at her like you've never given me a curfew and it's like probably because she's never needed to because you've always been in your bedroom watching movies.
Yeah,
So she's never had to give you a curfew because you don't go anywhere.
right.
And when you go to the movies, you go to the movies at like 7 or 8. So you're home by 11 at least.
Yeah,
Like she's never had to give you a curfew.
exactly.
So I was
And then
like,
yeah.
yeah, for me, it just made no sense. I was like, it would be, again, it's one thing to say 10 o'clock and then he can argue that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you kidding me? But 1 in the morning, they all need to be in bed sleeping.
Yeah. And then with Toby, I found the episodes. This is 3 out of 7 right now.
Oh God. I have a
The
four
next
more.
one,
I have 4 more episodes of this dude. Hmm.
yeah, the next one won't be until 19,
Oh
4/19. So
God. What is he into the end? Oh God. Can we
yeah,
skip over
basically.
that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I won't be here for episode 19. You'll have to find a new co-host because I can't with Toby. Okay,
Yeah, I
do
don't
you
know.
do you really like Toby?
I mean, he's trying a little bit better now to be friends with
Huh?
Jack, so he's improving, but very slowly. Well, with the reading thing, I think it turned things around a little bit with them. Well, for a minute at least until the very end, because he did kind of
Can I just
trick
say one
them.
thing?
Yeah,
I love Jack.
yeah, me too.
Like,
Because
because like at first he wasn't the kind of person that would like um be vocal.
hmm
But with Toby, he really is.
yeah,
Like he'll slam him and it's so good because it's what Toby needs to hear sometimes. And I'm like, I'm here for it because I can't stand him.
yeah, I think it's just because Toby annoys him so much compared to anybody else that he's met.
Yeah. Because he usually finds out they're a jerk afterwards.
Hmm
Like after he's truly interested. But I don't really think Jack ever was really interested in him.
Right.
Because remember who was the last one? Ethan or something?
Yeah.
Jack was interested in him,
hmm
like from the start. So it made sense. But
hmm
this doesn't make sense because Jack has never been interested in Toby.
Right.
So it's kind of like, go away.
hmm
They got nothing in common. Toby's just a jerk, and I just need him to go away. Plus, I don't know. I just don't see the chemistry. Just get him off the screen.
Yeah,
It's
they can't
what
even.
like I like to see my favorite characters like somebody.
Hmm.
He don't like Tobey, so get rid of him. Find a new guy for him because I'm tired of Tobey. Please and please get one that actually cares for Jack.
Hmm.
Because I'm also tired of these storylines where these guys come in for Jack and they don't like him or respect him or anything. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, they're not even compatible to be friends or anything like that
But
either.
then but then they always throw in, well, you're not ready. You're
Right.
just a jerk though. It
Yeah,
doesn't
but at
matter if
least,
he's ready or not, you're still a jerk.
yeah, at least Toby hasn't been like that about Jack
A
with a lack of
jerk?
experience. No, just about being having lack of experience.
I know, but I'm tired of it both.
Hmm.
Either you're being rude like Tobey from the start, or you're just telling him he's not experienced.
Right.
And it's like, you just need to shut up. That's why I just want him to have, by now, it's season 4. He
Hmm.
came out in season 2.
Yeah.
By now, I want him to have a good relationship.
Hmm.
And I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like everybody by now on the main cast has been in a relationship that they really like,
Right.
except Jack.
There was Joey for a minute, but that's the closest he ever
That
got
was
to like
like
a
two
good relationship.
episodes. That was 2 episodes, and she was still kind of pining for Dawson.
Hmm.
This is actually different.
Yeah.
And, I just want that for him.
Hmm.
All right. So, yeah, let's talk about Dawson and Mr. Brooks.
Hmm. Yeah, because they finished editing the documentary, and there's the moment where Mr. Brooks asks Dawson to, well, he first of all he tells not to take life too easy because he's still young, when it comes to Gretchen. But the part that got
Is
me was
this,
when
well, is this where he's wheeling him in the wheelchair?
moving him.
Well, because Mr. Brooks is in the wheelchair.
Yeah,
So he's pushing him in the wheelchair.
right. I was talking about moving him from the wheelchair to the couch part.
I know. That was, oh, it got my heart.
Hmm.
When Dawson was only just helping him in the seat.
Hmm.
And that's when Mr. Brooks grabs him and hugs him.
Yeah.
And Dawson's face is like, uh.
Yeah, but
And
I think he knew what it meant.
and it was just so sweet because like Mr. Brooks hated Dawson. Like
Hmm.
he couldn't wait for Dawson to finish painting and stuff. So, and earning his whatever way or whatever
Yeah,
because of
the
the whole
money for
boat.
yeah.
Yeah. That he was like, I can't wait for you to be done so I can never see you again. And
Hmm.
then now he's just like, oh, I love you
Yeah.
in his own way. It was so cute. But also I feel like Mr. Brooks knew he was going. So he's
Yeah.
like, I just want to let everybody in my life know I
Hmm.
love them in my own way.
Yeah, I think Dawson knew that too.
Yeah. But I don't think Dawson knew that he was dying like so soon.
Yeah.
I think he knew eventually, because I mean, eventually everyone goes. And I knew that, and Dawson knew that he was sick. But I think Dawson maybe thought he had a little bit more time.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Brooks was only holding on till it was over.
Right, the documentary, yeah.
Yeah. Like I think that was just his holding out. Otherwise, he would have went sooner.
Hmm.
Can we go to, I know we're skipping, but can we go to Graham's and Mr. Brooks for a second?
Yeah.
So what are they playing?
Um, I don't even know. I just put game in my notes.
Um, and so then she gets up and
Oh, it's
finds
bingo. Bingo. I did
oh
put, yeah, bingo.
then she gets up and finds out that he hasn't been taking his meds.
Hmm.
And then they get into that little tiff about it.
Yeah. Hmm.
But my point is like, and I've said this when Jen spoke up in class, remember?
Hmm.
Um, and I still stand by it. Like if you want to go and
Hmm.
you're dying anyway.
Yeah.
Why can't you take it into your own hands? Think
Right.
about
And
it. Think about it. For him, he's dying. There's no
yeah.
way around it. There's nothing that can
Hmm.
fix him except
Yeah.
for, and the medicine isn't, it's not healing him. It's only
Mhm.
prolonging his death.
Well, I think it's just making
So,
him comfortable.
well, but it's also just keeping him alive for a little bit longer.
Hmm.
And, um, and I don't feel like, I mean, if you don't want to do that,
Hmm.
you shouldn't have to.
Right.
It's just like, you know, if you have cancer, like some of the options, it's like, you know, do you want to go through chemo for 6 months and still pass? Or
Hmm.
do you want to just live your life?
Yeah.
You know, it was like on The Resident when
Yeah.
that's what happened on The Resident. Remember, Dr. Austin's mom
Hmm.
had that and he was like, but you can still live for another whatever. And she was like, yeah, live for 6 months, but also have chemo 5 times a week.
Hmm.
And it was like, you know, and still be miserable and not do anything. And it's like, I know those are tough things. And again, it should be up to the person, you know, the
Hmm.
patient. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be up to anybody else.
Yeah. That's what.
And and yeah, that's what Mr. Brooks said was it's not up to God, it's not up to you, it's up to
Hmm.
me. And I was
Yeah.
like, exactly. If he wants to stop all medication,
Hmm.
he should. And this is why I think it was more than just to keep him. I think the medicine was more to keep him comfortable because I think it was just prolonging his death because Grams was mad that he stopped
Hmm.
because he would have just stayed alive longer. And
Hmm.
I don't, because if you're taking meds to keep you comfortable,
Hmm.
it's not going to do anything. You know what I mean? Besides keep you comfortable. And I don't think Grams would have had a problem with him taking it or not taking it. But she got mad because he wasn't taking it. And I think it's because it was just keeping him alive longer.
Maybe.
And
Yeah.
that's what she wanted. But also, do you remember what she did to her own husband? She
What?
kept the poor man alive for like 5 months.
I thought it was longer than that.
Well,
Like years.
it felt like 5 years.
Hmm.
But remember, like she kept him alive. And how do we know that's not what he wanted? Maybe he wanted to go as soon as he got sick too. Like, and
Hmm.
Grams just has an issue with people dying.
Yeah.
But I was like, but literally, that was my thought was when she was yelling at him, you know, kind of about like, why would you not want to kind of live a little bit longer? And I was just like, you know, because he said, well, what's the point of that when I'm miserable?
Hmm.
And I was like, well, she did it to her own husband. She kept him in bed, not talking or moving for how long?
Yeah. Because Mr. Brooks did say that he knew she would understand and that living without dignity is not living. That's why I figured that that was pills to make him comfortable because it would have made him like drowsy and sleepy and just out of it. So he didn't want to be like that. He wanted to focus and be in the moment while he had it.
But I was just like, remember though what she did to Gramps? So
Hmm.
I was like, she wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it was just weird because she went into kind of living a little.
Hmm.
And that's what made me think of like, it's just prolonging it.
Yeah.
Because remember, even the nurse was like, well, he's not taking his meds. And it's like, so, you know,
Hmm.
it's up to him. Like,
Yeah.
what is the meds gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, everyone's making it a big deal. And I feel like they would make it a big deal if it was going to keep you alive longer.
Hmm.
Because you can lie and say, I feel fine, even though you feel horrible. And that's what would make it comfortable. But you can lie and say you're good. You don't need the meds because you're comfortable.
Hmm.
And that's not what he said. So I don't think that's why I took it as it's only going to keep him longer. You know, but then of course Grams is like, I have to go. And I was like, yeah, you might want to find your granddaughter because where is she?
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I am glad that Mr. Brooks had Dawson and Grams for a little bit
Yeah. Till the end.
because
Yeah.
he's just so grumpy that He finally came around.
Mm-hmm.
And then he even brought up to Graham's, but oh, I'm so glad that Dawson stole my boat because it brought us together. And she was like, well, we already met
Mm-hmm.
because he was
Yeah.
complaining about her, what was it, the cookie prices for the charity or something?
Pies, yeah.
I was like, oh gosh, but of course that's just who he is. So of course he would complain,
Mm-hmm.
even though it was for a good cause.
Yeah. And then on the double date, they're playing mini golf and Pacey's giving Anna tips.
Well, first, Drue was funny. He was like, just hit the ball. You're gonna be here all night. And Joey goes, we're on a date. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But Drue was just so annoyed. Now,
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Do you think Drue likes Joey? Because he's always messing with her.
Well, he already kissed her, so and looked at her bra
See, yeah, but
without her
remember
consent.
at the beginning though, he liked Jen too?
Yeah, I think he just really wanted to do drugs with her, more like that, instead of like having a crush.
But yeah, I actually do think Drue likes Joey.
Hmm. Yeah, so Joey tells Drew to be nicer to Anna and agrees that Drew should be more like Pacey.
Yeah, as of course Pacey and Anna are hugging, and then of course he just throws that in her face.
Hmm.
I was like, Drue.
Yeah. And then Jack shows up to teach kids to read, and Toby greets him and shows him what to do. And Toby asks Jack to do this just because he knows he can be nice to the kids.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
He couldn't find anyone else besides Jack.
Hmm.
Maybe because he's so mean.
Yeah.
But I did think it was cute that Jack was helping that student.
Hmm.
No, but I just had an issue with that though. One little small issue.
What?
Dawson. Jack was writing the story out for him.
Well, I don't think he could write, at least not as quickly as Jack could.
Yeah, but shouldn't he have done it himself so that he could learn?
Yeah, he was just doing it verbally, because the whole thing was to teach him how to read, not write. So I feel like if he didn't know how to read, he couldn't really write either. So
Hmm.
that's probably why Jack was doing it for him.
Hmm. But then I was like, if Jack gives up, then he wouldn't see that little boy again.
Hmm.
And that
Yeah.
little boy really bonded with Jack. So I was like, that would be sad.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, his name was Will. Didn't we already have a Will in this series?
Uh, I think so.
Yeah, I just it sounded familiar.
Yes. I
I
don't
forgot
know.
who it was though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
and then, Gretchen, her friends are talking about things that Dawson has no clue about or can
okay.
relate to.
Dawson's face was
Yeah.
just so like out of it. Like
Uncomfortable. Yeah.
I'm not even here. And I was
Hmm.
like, I'm so out of this scene just like you are.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm feeling Dawson for a second because I was just so bored of it.
Hmm.
It was like the whole storyline of Gretchen and her friends was just like the storyline when her and Pacey went to that college party. I
Hmm.
didn't care for it. Like, it's one thing if they're exciting, but the writers did not make this storyline exciting at all.
Yeah, well, I was.
I literally, like, when they were talking and stuff,
Hmm.
I wasn't listening.
Hmm. Yeah, well, I was interested in how Dawson was going to get into places with them since he's underage, and that
Yeah.
didn't work very well.
What do you mean it didn't work very well? He got in.
Yeah, but he couldn't drink with them. And then there's another place that they're going to have the same trouble with again, but they don't let anyone underage in, so he couldn't go there.
Well, but the thing is, like, well, he didn't want to go anywhere else.
Hmm.
Um, that's what I took it. But no, they let him in, and wasn't it a club that they were at?
Yeah,
That's what I had a problem was you're at a club. Don't kids like aren't clubs for 18 and over
it
or
should be. Yeah.
21 and over? Like,
Hmm.
how are you letting a 17-year-old in?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just bend the rules a little bit.
But think
Either
about
way, he had that stamp on his hand.
but think about other TV shows.
Hmm.
They use fake IDs to get in because they don't allow anybody under 21
Right.
into clubs. So,
Hmm.
how is it that on this show, there's a club out there for 17-year-olds that can get in? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I know.
And also he has the stamp on his wrist, right?
And yeah.
Yeah. Um, all he has to do is pull his sleeve up and voila, it's covered.
I don't think it'd be that easy. I think you could still see if he moved his hand.
But
'Cause
you know what I
it's supposed to be in the back of the hand so anybody can see it really easily.
yes, but if you have like a sweatshirt on or a coat and you just go like this, you can't see it.
Yeah, but I think if he
It's
like
very
moved up
easy.
to, I know, I feel like if he would have moved his arm to even get a drink, it would have slid down and he would
No,
have been found out.
not necessarily.
Well, I feel like they would even check hands too, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like if you're that busy, the club, they're not checking hands.
Maybe, you never know.
They just assume that you're 21. Um, but anyway, and so okay, so here's where I have an issue. Wasn't it just like the last episode or something? Gretchen, it kind of came out that Gretchen's like 22
I don't remember that.
because she was 21 when she had her miscarriage.
I thought she was 20.
Well, something, but I'm just like, but then when they were talking about, um, but then when they were talking about like her, like being kids, like when Pacey and Dawson were kids, it was like she was 14 and they were 11, and I'm like, that's only 3 years apart. He's
Mm-hmm.
still 17 and she's like 22, like 21, 22. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's not 3 years apart.
Right.
Like, they forgot the age gap already.
Yeah, I think Dawson said she was 13 when he was 11. So yeah,
But how do you forget the age gap?
I don't know. It's
That
very easy on the
especially,
show.
yeah, but that's the storyline of these two. Like, it's a part of their storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Is that their age is the age gap where she's an adult and he's not. So I don't get how they could mess that up. But then again, it's Dawson's Creek. Never mind. But that's what I was having an issue with was like, because she's what? In her senior year of college,
Maybe junior, yeah, if she was still
where she
going.
would definitely be turning 22. Like, it
Mm-hmm.
just made no sense. I was like, they were like only 3 years apart, and all of a sudden they're like 4 or 5.
Right.
It was off to me. I was like, but here it is again.
Mm-hmm.
Because he makes it very known in this episode that he is only 17, which we know he's only 17 because Pacey last episode turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
And in season two, Pacey turned 18 the beginning of season two, but Dawson, it was like 13 episodes later that Dawson turned 16. Remember that?
Yeah.
So we know that their birthdays are not close.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that Dawson's is it's gonna take a little bit longer for him to turn
Mm-hmm.
18.
Yeah.
When do you think Dawson's birthday is, though?
I don't know, maybe whenever that episode aired.
And wasn't it just the end of like season three that Joey turned 16?
Mm,
Remember, because she was finally learning how to drive?
I think 17.
You think she's 17 now?
Yeah, she should be.
Just didn't make any sense. I was like, how old are these kids? I don't even think they're writers at this point. No, I think they're just coming up with numbers.
And then on the double date, Drew was talking about Anna and how he doesn't want to be there, and Pacey sticks up for her, which I thought was nice.
How about wanting to punch him?
Yeah, that part too. And then, but Drew was more annoying when asked Pacey like guy to guy, why is it that girls who aren't smart, sleep with you when you tell them that they are, and then smart girls sleep with you when they tell them they're beautiful, and Pacey is just annoyed, and Anna's gets up and angry, and she says she regrets sleeping with Drew. So
Pacey's like, didn't expect that.
yeah. So I
Which
thought maybe that
means, but it also means that Drue and Anna have already been together.
yeah.
Like this
I thought that,
isn't, this date isn't new because they've already been together once.
hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because Mrs. Valentine acted like this is Drue's first time being around Anna.
right.
And it's not. They've slept together.
Hmm.
So they've been together at least once before.
Yeah.
Again, it doesn't add up, but okay.
Hmm. And then Pacey talks to Anna and how Anna tells him that she wanted Drew to like her for more than her looks and not how she just fell into bed too easily. And she asked if she hadn't, maybe have Drew have would have liked her. And Pacey says he can't answer that. He just met her. But he knows that there are nice things about her that are more than just her looks. So it's Drew's loss and not hers.
Okay.
So I thought that was
Did you
nice.
did you like though that Pacey was just kept trying to like talk to her and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, if he didn't, nobody was gonna. So
Um, well, I feel like Joey could have girl to girl.
maybe, but she didn't really talk to her like Pacey did. So she didn't really know her.
Because it was just the two of them the whole time.
Hmm.
No,
And
what I thought was funny was when
yeah,
Drew was talking to the group of girls and Joey comes over and says, "We need to talk about the pregnancy and you taking care of the baby."
yeah, marrying her.
It
Yeah.
was it was a callback to season one. I
About
was
that other guy.
yeah, I was
Maybe
like
that was no.
Joey.
Yeah.
I was like Joey has a thing with like faking storylines of her being pregnant
Hmm.
and having a baby daddy. I was like, Joey,
Yeah, it was only to get those other girls to leave him alone because he was supposed to be talking to Anna, his
I
date.
know, but it just took me back to season one.
Hmm. And that Dawson birthday episode aired in March of '99, so it's not gonna be up anytime soon, but yeah, he's still 17.
Um, so yeah, I did think it was funny when she was talking about her and Drew. Oh, but then of
Yeah.
course he has to say something. And he was like, "Oh, don't they look so cute?" As in Pacey and Anna, because they were talking, and he's like, "Don't they look so cute? Two people who've had sex. I mean,
Mhm.
not together." And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because it was another dig at Joey, like,
Yeah, because he said that, not that Joey would understand that.
yeah. And I'm just like, here it is, Drew. Just go away.
Hmm. Well, I didn't like how Gretchen and her friends were talking about their loser lists about the guys that they've been with right in front of Dawson.
I was kind of tuned out of the whole. Again, I wasn't interested in Gretchen's college life.
Hmm. Yeah, because she even got a tattoo because of a guy. And Gretchen says that Dawson, is different from them. He won't shut her heart like the other guys did. But that made him look a little worried.
Well, because she talks about the story of how you're not going to come to go to a club with me and then break up with me and be with somebody else or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, that happened to you?"
Hmm. And then Joey gets to the bottom of why Drew's being so mean to Anna, and he says that it's because he doesn't know girls. He's been to only all boys schools, and he only knows how to pick on them, like Joey, or sleep with them, like Anna. So, and then Joey says he's been
But
good at being
also, but
honest and real
also,
with her.
yeah, but also that he likes Anna.
No, I don't think he likes her. He just
I
likes the
think,
fact that she slept with him.
no, I think he likes her part of her.
Well, yeah, by the end, but not during most of the date.
No, but I think but he has that way where he's mean. He does it to Joey all the time. He's mean to her because he likes her. And I
Yeah,
think
but
he's
he's
being mean to Anna because he doesn't know how to say that he likes her. That's what he's like trying to tell Joey.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I just got a different vibe from between Anna and Joey and what he's saying to them. Because like Drew's saying this in front of Anna's face, but also to Joey and Pacey, while Drew tells most about, the stuff about Joey just to her, except for that makeup comment in the beginning. But besides that, I've just been like one on one with them.
So when Jack and Tobey are done,
Hmm.
and Toby's like, "Hey, you want to come with me to hang out with my friends or whatever?" Jack goes, but then he realizes like it's like more than that Tobey wants.
Mm-hmm.
I also just think it's just Jack not really being comfortable yet.
Yeah.
But also like it was funny though when Jack's like, we can be friends, but nothing is ever going to be more than that. And Toby was like, why not? And Jack says, we don't click.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
Because, and I literally wrote that, because I was like, for once, like, just get Toby away. And
Mm-hmm.
plus, like, why does Toby think that anything is going to be more when all he's ever done and said to Jack is horrible things
Right.
and judging him? Like, if that's all somebody's doing to you, most times you're not going to want to be with that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But this was all after that Jack found out that Toby had set up as a double date with two other guys.
Hmm. Well, that's the thing
But
is like Dawson doesn't want that, especially with Toby right now. Like, unless he
yeah.
gets to know Toby,
Mm-hmm.
but Toby's also got to be nicer
Right.
and he doesn't know how. And it's
Yeah.
just irritating.
Yeah, I just didn't like how he cornered him like that.
Mm-hmm. Because again, it's not like they've been all cutesy cutesy and like you can tell that they both like each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that. It's Toby's always cutting Jack down and, Jack's sort of just there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's different, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to just
Yeah.
surprise someone. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I didn't like it for Jack. But again, I was happy he stood up for himself
Me too.
because a lot of times he wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
He would just let the other guy say stuff.
Yeah. And then Anna apologizes for her bad driving. So Drew mentions that the roads aren't marked right and, to make her feel better. But he was a little awkward saying it.
Um, how old is Anna?
I'm guessing the same age, so 17, maybe 18.
Well, why isn't Drew driving?
I feel like he's too lazy. He wouldn't be the kind of guy to drive a girl to a date. So
He's like,
maybe he doesn't even have his license because his mom has people drive him. So that could be it too.
oh my God, it was funny.
He's just not really a gentleman or anything like that. But he did make an effort about the road thing. You could tell that he was trying at that point. But that was awkward how Anna gave Joey that bear that she won at
Yeah,
the
she was
wherever
like,
they went. Yeah.
yeah, because they're like, no, it's yours. And she's like, no, Joey. And it was like, it's yours. And
Hmm.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
just threw it in the trash.
Yeah. And then Drew and Anna have a moment. And, Drew says that he wants to go out with Anna again, but or he had a good time, and then if Anna wants to go out with him again, she doesn't have to talk to his mom to get to him. So and then they did kiss, so Anna did like him
Which,
by the end.
well, they've done more than kiss. But I did think it was weird that because she like drew, she
Hmm.
went through like his mom and her dad, and you know what I mean? Like it was just a little weird.
Hmm.
Like, shouldn't she have just went to him? Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
it's just weird.
Hmm.
I was like, you're how old and you're going through your parents?
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, what do you think of Anna and Drew?
I think they could be nice if they got to know each other.
Okay, but do you want to see it?
Not really.
Like, Drew's not the core. I don't care about him. I don't like the dude. I mean, anytime he's on screen, I just roll my eyes. I'm just
Hmm.
not interested in his storylines, and I'm not interested in who he's with because I don't like him. So, um, this ought to be interesting because apparently they're gonna be together or we're gonna see something, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like these two aren't over with, and I just don't care for it.
Right.
Again, I feel like it was again, there wasn't really much going on in this episode. It was just like the back and forth between like three storylines, sort of. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, because Dawson gets home where Gail was asleep on the couch waiting for him. Mm.
Uh, well, did you know though that you could tell that she had the little pouch thing?
No, was it sticking out?
Well, she had the shirt on, but the shirt, how it was laying on it, you could
Hmm.
tell it was like the crease
Oh, okay, yeah.
of it. And I was like,
Yeah.
Like
Sometimes that happens.
it wasn't like an actual pregnant like round or belly. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I was like, all right. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why she probably had to have that pillow or blanket and stuff to act like
Right.
she was. But anyway, so oh, Dawson though, he comes home and tells his mom though um
The
about
list.
yeah, about like was it the loser
Yeah.
list? I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh my God, you told your mom that?" Like,
Yeah,
I'm
because
sorry. If you ever want your mom to like the girl you like,
mm-hmm.
don't tell her about a list.
Yeah, I think it's just because Dawson figured that his mom was right about Gretchen, so that's why he told her. But Gretchen, not Gretchen, Gail says that Gretchen's crazy about Dawson, so it's worth putting his heart on the line for to find love again.
But
So
also
even
you
she
told
came
your
around.
mom, so it's gonna be in the back of her head now forever.
Yeah, because she did bring it up when Gretchen showed up,
Okay,
and you
that's what I didn't understand was like when Gretchen comes over
hmm
and, obviously wants to make up with Dawson. And um Gail says, Gail says it, that, she doesn't want Dawson to be on the loser list. And I was like, wait a minute. She didn't say it, she didn't whisper it. Dawson was standing right there. How is it Dawson didn't hear her?
Yeah, I know he should have. Yeah.
I was like, there's no way that he couldn't have heard.
hmm
And wouldn't he have been like, Mom, like,
No, I think because you know he figured that Gretchen did deserve to hear that from his
because
mom.
he's a mama's boy?
Yeah,
So he lets
that
his
too.
mom defend him.
hmm
I was just like, okay, we all know Dawson heard that because how could you not? She wasn't whispering. And they
hmm
weren't, it's not like they were, in a whole different room. They were right there.
Right.
Gretchen only walked a couple steps to Dawson
hmm
right after that. So that didn't make any sense to me. Again, continuity, but let's go.
Yeah. And then Dawson, tells Gretchen that he doesn't like their age gap and doesn't want to hold her back from what she wants to do. And Gretchen says that she wants to just be with him, and Dawson needs to know if he made an impression, and she says that he has. And Dawson jokes about seeing that lucky tattoo of hers. So that was funny to bring that back. And then Pacey and Joey get into that little fight about how Anna took Drew back after everything.
No. Well, what happened was they got into the sex conversation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how it started. Yeah. Yeah. So we now know it's been 8 months since they've been together,
It's been 8 months.
Yeah. And that's a
Oh
long
my
time
God.
compared to how long she was with Dawson, which was only about 2 months at the most.
She never slept with Dawson.
No, I mean, relationship wise, it was 2 months that they were together. And
Oh,
now she's been with Pacey for 8 months, so more than
I
double the
know.
time.
That's almost a year.
Yeah, so it was sweet when Pacey says that he's happy that they took the time to fall in love with each other. But he's starting to get a little impatient, you know. And
I'm
Joey
not,
says,
but like any guy would,
"Mm,
especially like his age.
yeah,
Think about it. That's like the only thing that's on their mind. So the fact that he waited 8 months though before
yeah,
talking about it.
yeah." And Joey says she doesn't know what's
Uh,
wrong.
Wait a minute. Wasn't it when Dawson and Joey first got together, Dawson brought it up? Remember
Yeah,
about doing it in the boat? And
yeah, that wasn't even the first time. So,
it was like you were only together, you just got together and you're just bringing it up.
hmm
At least Pacey waited 8 months.
yeah. And Joey
Oh,
says,
but okay, but I gotta say this.
hmm
Pacey said, he said, the most amazing relationship I've ever had.
yeah,
Oh my God. So clearly he's, this relationship has definitely surpassed Andy's.
hmm yeah. So Joey says she doesn't know what's holding her back, but she's scared. And he says he's scared too. So
We
she,
all know what's holding her back.
yeah. So she just asks if they can just be scared together, and they hug. But I don't think that resolved anything, at least not for long.
And see, it's not that because she brought up like, oh, so you're saying I don't sleep with you, then we're going to break up.
Right.
That's not what he's saying. Like,
Yeah.
if you had a reason why, a true reason, because obviously there's, like, okay, like if a girl doesn't believe in sex before marriage, that's
Hmm.
a reason.
Yeah.
She's not giving a valid reason
I know.
of why. If she
Hmm.
truly loves him,
Yeah.
as she says,
Hmm.
then she would want to. And the fact that she doesn't give a reason, and that's why he's saying, I hope the reason isn't me.
Right.
Like, and that's why I'm like, exactly. If you would have given a valid reason, he would have been like, he would have shut up,
Hmm.
agreed, whatever. But
Yeah.
you're not. And
Hmm.
she even says, well, I want you. I just don't know why I'm not. And it's like, hmm. And that's
Yeah.
where he feels like it's him.
Right. Not enough. Yeah.
Because let's be honest, if that's the way you truly feel that you love him, then why not?
Hmm.
And again, it's not because you have beliefs,
Yeah.
you know,
Or her
it's because
sexuality.
of,
Yeah.
right, it's because of something else.
Hmm.
Or, I mean, someone else.
Yeah.
And, that's what Pacey's afraid of.
Right.
And that's
And
what I
speaking.
mean.
Hmm.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, like, some people would get mad about that, about him being pushy, but it's only because he's trying to get some answers. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, and then the ending when Dawson walks in and
Yeah.
finds Mr. Brooks on the floor. I was
Mhm.
happy that it wasn't Grams that walked in and found him.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. So that was the end. I'll just go first. My high was when Mr. Brooks hugged Dawson. It
Hmm.
was it was just so cute and sweet because Mr. Brooks hates Dawson. And then my low was the whole scene with Gretchen and her friends. I didn't care for that storyline.
Hmm.
What about you?
Well, my low was when Dawson found Mr. Brooks, even though I knew it was gonna happen eventually. And then the high was just when Drue turned a corner with Anna and was actually trying to make an effort to get to know her and be nice to her on their date. And then rating.
I would rate this 5. I mean, it was okay, but
Hmm.
it wasn't a good filled fun episode to watch.
Right.
It was
Yeah, to
still
get.
boring. There were still many
Hmm.
parts that were boring and I didn't care for. About you?
Yeah, I'd say a 6. Pretty boring.
Yeah. And also Jen wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Cut out Drue and bring Jen back.
Hmm.
And then so who's your best and worst character?
Pacey, because he was making,
Wait, he was the worst?
the best.
I was
He
just
was
kidding.
yeah, he was making Anna feel, good and not bad like Drew was. So he was helping her and, say nice things to her like someone should be on a date with her at least. And then the worst is Drew, of course, just because of how much of a jerk he is. Yours?
My worst was okay, I had to go back and forth between Tobey because it was driving me nuts
Hmm.
and Drue, but I went with Drue because he was being rude to everybody.
Hmm.
Like he normally is. And
Yeah.
so yeah, he's the worst. And then my best, I picked Pacey because yes, he was being there for Anna. And he was finally trying to get some answers from Joey.
Hmm.
And he's just that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I picked him. So
Mhm.
yeah, so what's the next episode?
Episode 14, Winter's Tale. This is the longest winter season ever we seem to be having.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.